Dr. Osmund Breland is the focus of our third video in the history of UT entomology. He not only collected and identified mosquitoes, but did systematics work. He also made an important discovery with whirligig beetles. Known to many simply as Oz, Breland was born on September 17, 1910 in Decatur, Mississippi. As a boy, he was fascinated with ants and spent hours observing their behavior. In 1931, he graduated with a bachelor's in science from Mississippi State University. He attended graduate school at Indiana University, where he received his PhD in 1936. His research was on the biology and taxonomy of calamomid wasps under the guidance of Alfred C. Kinsey, an American biologist, professor of entomology and zoology, and a sexologist, the latter being what Kinsey is best known for. After a short stint as an instructor at North Dakota State University, Breland accepted a position in the zoology department at UT Austin in 1938. He was promoted to assistant professor in 1942, but then entered the U.S. Army in 1943 as first lieutenant during World War II. During this time, Breland worked in the medical entomology branch in Panama. It was here he would develop a career-long interest in the biology of mosquitoes, including those that are disease vectors. Mosquitoes and the diseases they spread were a serious problem for the military and posed health risks to soldiers. After the war, when Breland returned to UT Austin, he would teach entomology and parasitology. He and his graduate students studied the larval biology and breeding areas of Texas mosquitoes. Most of Breland's technical articles deal with these organisms, and to most current researchers, his work on the taxonomy and bionomics of a number of Texas mosquitoes is what he is best known for. Breland also wrote works for a more general audience, titles like Animal Facts and Fallacies in 1948 and Animal Friends and Foes in 1957. Both were combined in 1963 under the title Animal Life and Lore. These books started from questions Breland would receive from both students as well as the general public. Questions he could not answer but would research, accumulating what he called, quote, fairly useless information, unquote, in the form of clippings and magazine references. His intention was to create a book people could turn to for common entomological and zoological questions. Breland spent the last phase of his scientific career in the cytological study of insect sperm production. He and a graduate student, Everett Simmons, discovered a unique feature of the sperm of whirligig beetles, Coleoptera gyrinidae. Male whirligig beetles embed their sperm in a spermatostyle, a non-cellular rod. Once the spermatostyle is released, the sperm then cooperatively propel themselves to the spermatheca, an organ of the female reproductive tract in invertebrates and certain vertebrates. As Breland was not an evolutionary biologist, it didn't strike him at the time the significance in social biology of discovering sperm cooperating to get someplace. Luckily, recent interest from evolutionary biologists in sperm competition has brought attention to Breland's and Simmons' discovery. People that knew Breland described him as fulgent, which means glisteningly bright, and a stickler to facts. Breland had a low tolerance when it came to flamboyant writing and academic bureaucracy, but a talent in teaching his students how to properly navigate both. He also enjoyed playing poker, so much so that he had a book in his personal library all about how one could make a living at the game. In 1972, American entomologist Thomas Zvortink named a mosquito after Breland, Aedes brelandi. Breland was a smoker and sadly would die of emphysema in 1984 at the age of 74. He is buried in the Austin Memorial Park Cemetery. Many of the mosquitoes and wasps that Breland collected are now housed at the UT Entomology collection. In our next video, we will look at the screwworm fly and the decades of devastation it brought.